where Man City are going is it's full-time, 3-1 win at Arsenal. They are top of the Premier League table right now, level on points of Arsenal, but they're ahead of the Gunners on goal difference. And as you can see, quite a healthy lead on goal difference there by 10 goals. But crucially, Arsenal, as we see at the bottom of the screen, do have a game in hand. So we'll get to some of your comments and questions, but I wanted to ask you, Nick, in terms of the title race, are we all in on Man City winning this Premier League again for a three-peat? Are we, in terms of the favourites right now, I think before this game, we're all kind of leaning towards City. And this result, for me, underlines just the difference in experience and class when it really matters right now. So are we all in on Man City winning the Premier League title? Or do you think Arsenal can still hang in there?
I think Arsenal can still hang in there, but I also think you're asking the wrong guy. I've been pretty faithful, even when it was 6 points in a match in hand, that I thought Man City was going to outlast Arsenal. And I do think I like this comment a lot from Willem. Give me Arsenal with a serious shot next year, assuming that there are some reinforcements as well. To me, this is Man City's year. I would go this way now. Before the game, I was 60-40 Man City. I know Andy got down to 52-48, somewhere between that game. Yeah. I'm going to go back 60-30, and I'm going to give a 10% chance to Manchester United. I'm going to go that high because I just think what Ten Hag is doing in organizing that team, and just like Arsenal, getting wins in position, in games you don't expect them to get the win out of, just finding that moment. I do think it is like a 2.5 team race.
Yeah, I agree. Andy, you agree with that?
Yeah, it's no longer a question to me of who will win the title. I think it's a question of will City lose the title or not. It is their title to lose at this point. I know Arsenal have a game in hand and could go back above them. They might just do that. I don't think it's going to matter, though, in the end, because of everything that we have talked about from the start of this game until the end of this game. They went into London. They beat them on their field. They have beaten them twice in the last month. They get them at home in the 6th to final game of the Premier League. It's all set up for City, aside from the fact that they obviously really want to win the Champions League. That is the only thing I think you can say that stands in the way of Manchester City going on and winning the 3rd straight title and coming back and reeling Arsenal in at a time where I think a lot of people, or at least the Arsenal fans, got confident and believed that they had done enough. And when you haven't played that other team, though, head to head, there's just still too much left in the season, I think, to feel that way.
Yeah. 30 goal contributions in 22 matches played for Erling Haaland. I mean, it's absurd. He's at 1.32 goals per 90. Those are, I mean, that's silly. That's silly. Those are better than Mo Salah when he was lighting the league on fire a couple of years ago. And think about that. Remember how good and prolific Salah was. This is something.
That's the difference. Him, De Bruyne, obviously Grealish stepping up today with the goals. That City just have that abundance of attacking talent that even if one player doesn't show up in attack, Mahrez will do it one week, Gundogan will do it the other. Alvarez still has hardly featured since the World Cup, and it's just incredible to see the players they have there. Zalai Lindsay says Man City will win the league. Johnny Lara says if City play with a back four and none of this Bernardo Silva left back nonsense, then City will win the league. Big useless dummy says Arsenal can win the league. And yeah, it's, and then they also says, remember, we're focusing on Champions League spots. So for Arsenal, I think it's a bonus they're in this situation, right? And that's maybe the mentality they need to have rather than, we lost the chance to be top of the table. Now it's like, okay, we're going to finish in the top 4, which is great for us. We have, unless there's a huge collapse, which I don't think there will be, but they have absolutely nothing to lose, and that's got to be their mentality between now and the end of the season. And Partey's going to be back soon. Jesus is going to be back pretty soon as well, which will boost them. So it's not all doom and gloom for Arsenal after this, but it's going to take a lot for them, I think, to grind this out and get above the juggernaut that is Man City. And as I mentioned previously, the fact that all these alleged breaches and the charges from the Premier League, that mentality, that extra motivation, if you will, that Guardiola's been talking about. Everybody wants to, beat us. Everybody doesn't like us. And just that extra few percentage I can give you as a player if you truly believe that and you think the world's against you, and Andy mentioned it before, Pep always thinks that anyway, but this is that extra little bit of motivation, maybe just to refocus and rejuvenate really a team that most of the players went deep in the World Cup. So the only other team, as we said it earlier, Nick, Man United. What is, if we do percentage chance, maybe after this we'll say Man City 60% chance of them winning the league. That maybe is high, too high, I don't know. Arsenal 30%.
Yeah. 60, 30, 10. Yeah.
10. Is that fair enough?
I mean, give one to Eddie Howe and the Wonder Boys. No, I'm kidding. 60, 30, 10. If we're talking about most draws in the league, though, look out for Brentford and Newcastle. I think Man City is a special group. But again, I'm looking at that bench today and seeing that depth and thinking, I kind of think Man United is going to go out of the Europa League over the next 2 weeks. I just think Barcelona has kind of figured out a young and energetic team with Pedri and Gavi and having Lewandowski up top. That's a big ask for defenses. So I really think United is going to be able to just focus on the league. And I could honestly see them. I could see it going City, United, Arsenal 1, 2, 3 when it all shakes out.
Oh, wow. AJ does not agree with that. He's saying 100% Arsenal winning it. So some of the Arsenal fans are still saying really strong. Andy, for you, how seriously are United in this title race alongside Man City and Arsenal?
Not really. The Casemiro suspension that seems like it's never going to end, I think, is going to weigh heavily, and it's just going to cost them probably just enough that gap is going to be a bridge too far for them to clear. But again, this is a massive foundational season for Manchester United. They have a manager at long last. It took them a decade after Sir Alex left, but they've got someone who is building something. So I think next season I don't want to get ahead. I don't want to skip past the rest of the title race that we have now, but think about what the title race could be next season with perhaps a renewed Liverpool coming back into it as well. It could be what we thought this season would be. We thought this would be a 4-team race, and it has turned out to be just 2, and not including 3 of the teams that we had in there at the beginning. So I think they're comfortably a top 4 team, but it's all about City Arsenal for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then we got the great comment coming in there saying about Arsenal kind of got way ahead of themselves. I don't know if that's true, but if you look at their schedule, I mean, they've got to go to Liverpool still. They've got to go to Man City still. They're hosting Chelsea. They still got to go to Newcastle as well. So those are 3 big away trips there for them to negotiate and where they could potentially drop points. And if you look at Man City's schedule for the rest of the season, then, they still have big games. They're at home against Newcastle, home against Liverpool, obviously home against Arsenal, and home against Chelsea. So all their big games against the big 6 and the teams right up there this season are all home games. So you'd fancy them not really to drop as many points as Arsenal for the rest of the season. So, yeah, it's going to be a crazy end of the season. What a game. To recap, Arsenal 1, Manchester City 3.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.